Sam Blakeman, played by Jude Riordan, is continuing to battle severe mental health problems in Coronation Street and recently experienced another frightening hallucination involving a fellow Weatherfield resident. The young boy has been deeply affected by the actions of Megan Walsh, portrayed by Beth Nixon. Sam was the first to uncover that Megan had been abusing Will Driscoll, played by Lucas Hodgson Whale, and the teacher pressured him into staying silent about the situation. The ordeal badly damaged Sam's confidence, causing him to become isolated and leaving his family increasingly concerned about his unusual behavior. Eventually, Sam confessed Megan's secret to Leanne Battersby, played by Jane Danson, though this only happened after he collapsed and was taken to hospital. Although Megan's crimes have now been revealed, Sam's trauma is far from over. In the weeks that followed, he had to cope with cruel remarks from Will and became increasingly suspicious about who around him could actually be trusted. A few weeks later, Sam's mental state worsened even more as it became clear he was struggling to separate reality from his imagination. During today's episode, Sam continued shutting people out. At school, he made it clear he wanted to be left alone and became irritated with Hope Stape, portrayed by Isabella Flanagan, when he felt she was ignoring his wishes. Later at the bistro, Toya Battersby, played by Georgia Taylor, tried speaking with Sam, but accidentally startled him because he was wearing headphones. Sam responded coldly and once again insisted he wanted space from everyone. As Sam walked through a ginnel, his panic intensified when he believed he saw Will running after him. Terrified, he sprinted away but found himself trapped at a dead end near some rubbish bins. Trying to defend himself, Sam shoved over one of the bins before lashing out in a fight with Will. However, viewers soon learned that Sam had not been attacking Will at all, but was instead suffering from another disturbing visual hallucination. Sam's difficult journey is set to continue in upcoming episodes, with Kate Brooks confirming that Coronation Street will further examine the lasting emotional damage caused by Megan's manipulation and the disbelief surrounding Sam's accusations against her. Discussing the storyline, Kate explained that involving Sam in Megan's plot and making him another victim of her behavior created a compelling direction for the narrative. She revealed that the traumatic experience has severely affected his mental well-being, particularly because of the manipulation he endured, the lack of support from others, and the constant fear he experienced whenever he was around Megan. Kate also shared that Sam's mental health storyline will become a major focus throughout spring and early summer, with the youngster facing increasingly serious struggles. The story will center on his family gradually recognizing how vulnerable he has become and understanding that he urgently requires professional help before his condition worsens further. She went on to explain that Megan's actions have not only harmed Will and the Driscoll family directly, but have also left Sam deeply traumatized as an unintended victim of the situation. According to Kate, the events have completely shattered people's trust because of Megan's ongoing deception and manipulation. All the latest spoilers for next week's episodes of Coronation Street reveal that Lisa Connor Swain, played by Vicki Myers, and Kit Green, portrayed by Jacob Roberts, remain determined to uncover who killed Theo Silverton, played by James Cartwright. This week, however, suspicion falls heavily on Summer Spellman, played by Harriet Bibby, who becomes the main suspect in the investigation. Tensions explode when Summer clashes with George Shuttleworth, portrayed by Tony Maudsley. After Christina Boyd, played by Amy Robbins, is exposed for lying, George feels compelled to reveal important information to the police. His decision could have devastating consequences for Summer, while Todd Grimshaw, played by Gareth Pierce, may struggle to forgive George for getting involved. Elsewhere, the Driscoll family continues falling apart as Maggie and Ben, portrayed by Pauline McLynn and Aaron McCusker, remain locked in conflict. Will Driscoll, played by Lucas Hodgson Whale, continues battling worsening mental health issues, while young Susie, portrayed by Aurora Bradshaw, also ends up caught in troubling circumstances. The family's growing divisions leave doubts about whether they can repair the damage done. Meanwhile, Daniel Osborne, played by Rob Mallard, becomes the target of an online troll. At the same time, his developing friendship with Jodie Ramsey, portrayed by Olivia Francis Brown, could either support him through the ordeal or make matters even worse. Other storylines see Sarah Platt, played by Tina O'Brien, struggling emotionally after her recent assault, while Sam Blakeman, portrayed by Jude Riordan, continues dealing with his ongoing mental health battle. Roy Cropper, played by David Nielsen, also proudly unveils a refreshed version of Roy's roles. Maggie's secrets begin to unravel further when Ben arrives home and finds her crying in the arms of Eva Price, portrayed by Catherine Tildesley. Eva urges Ben to show compassion towards Maggie despite everything that has happened. Later, Daniel admits he no longer feels capable of facing the outside world. Hoping to comfort him, Jodie falsely claims she recently saw Cassie Plummer, played by Claire Sweeney, and insists that Bertie, portrayed by Rufus Morgan Smith, desperately misses him. However, when Daniel visits number 1 and discovers Bertie is perfectly happy, he returns home furious and confronts Jodie about her dishonesty. At the same time, suspicion quickly shifts towards Summer when George and Christina come across her diary, which contains a disturbing entry describing her holding a gun to Theo's head. Matters become even more serious after Kit uncovers fresh evidence that places her directly under suspicion, while Sam overhears Roy warning him that nobody around him can truly be trusted. Summer is later questioned by Lisa Connor Swain, portrayed by Vicky Myers, regarding Kit's discovery, while Todd Grimshaw, played by Gareth Pierce, fiercely defends her back on the street. George Shuttleworth, portrayed by Tony Maudsley, also presses Summer for answers, and a flashback sequence eventually reveals exactly what he witnessed on the night Theo died. Elsewhere, Ben is horrified to discover that Megan Walsh, played by Beth Nixon, has been granted bail. His frustration worsens when Maggie attends a family lunch gathering. Forced to break the news about Megan's release to an upset Will, Ben loses his temper after learning Ollie, portrayed by Raphael Akuwudike, invited Maggie to the meal. In anger, he exposes Maggie's secrets in front of both Ollie and Will. Meanwhile, Fizz Dobbs, played by Jenny McAlpine, expresses concern to Carla Connor Swain, portrayed by Allison King, about Sarah Platt's well-being. Sarah becomes offended when Carla hands some of her responsibilities over to Michael Bailey, played by Ryan Russell. At the same time, Roy Cropper, portrayed by David Nielsen, proudly unveils his newly refurbished cafe, while Daniel Osborne, played by Rob Mallard, faces cruel online accusations claiming he knew about Megan's crimes and had once groomed Summer himself. Sarah's emotional state continues deteriorating at work, and after making a mistake with paperwork before lashing out in frustration, Carla insists she take a break from the factory. Afterwards, Sarah heads to the Rover's Return and begins drinking heavily. Coronation Street airs on ITV1 during weeknights at 8:30 p.m. and is also available for streaming on ITVX.